Analysts are expecting another big year for AI advancements, but that also means some growing demand for cybersecurity. Here to break down his 3 cybersecurity picks of 2025 is MarketBeat analyst Thomas Hughes. Thomas, before we get into your picks, let's just talk about this industry as a whole. What are analysts saying about cybersecurity for the new year?
Cybersecurity is supposed to grow at another double-digit clip this year. The growth for the industry is slowing, but this is the law of large numbers. It's been growing at a very high pace for many years. So that slowing growth is just because of how large the industry has become. So this year's dollar gain will be larger than last year's dollar gain, but just a slower percentage growth. We're also looking for wider margins. And this is all driven by secular trends that include digitization. More and more people and businesses are relying on digital and specifically the cloud, but also because of AI. AI is making things more complex and more complicated. But just like it's helping the good guys, it's also helping the bad guys. Cyber threats are rising at a triple-digit pace. They're supposed to accelerate again this year, and also increasing in the scope of cost for mitigation. So cybersecurity is incredibly important because we have this secular trend of a growing need for businesses, but also another growing need because of the threat.
Yeah, Thomas, you are absolutely right. Companies everywhere are realizing how important cybersecurity is, especially as, like you said, AI continues to advance. Now, there's going to be a lot of growth in that sector this year. Scan this QR code right now or check the link in the description to take a look at our 10 best AI picks for 2025. These stocks could see a lot of growth in the new year. But Thomas, so could cybersecurity. There are plenty of cybersecurity stocks that have been growing quite a bit over the last few years. And your first pick of the top 3 cybersecurity stocks for 2025 is just that story.
Right, it's Palo Alto Networks. And I want to start off by saying these 3 stocks are among the top 15 most upgraded stocks of the year. So within that, they're also the top 3 upgraded stocks for cybersecurity. So cybersecurity has got a pretty important place in the analyst sentiment right now. They view it as pretty important, and these are the most important stocks in the group. Palo Alto is the largest by market cap and by revenue. The story with it this year is that it's in a phase of platformization. As a legacy tech company, after decades of growing and advancing technology, its business was pretty fractured. You could get one service here, one service there. What it's doing now is combining it all into one unified platform, making it easier to use, more efficient to operate, and it's really resonating with its clients. It's able to sustain growth. Like I said before, growth is going to slow in the coming year, but it's going to be sustained at a high double-digit pace, and that should also be sustained for the year after and the year after. The long-term forecasts are pretty robust.
Yeah, we've talked about Palo Alto on this channel before, including congressional buying of this stock. Lawmakers are already seeing the value and of the future of this company. Let's talk about where the stock is right now and when would be a good time for investors to get in at this price point.
Interesting that you bring up the Congress people. One of the most prominent congressional purchasers was Nancy Pelosi. She bought twice earlier in the year. Right after the first purchase, the stock dropped like 15-20%. So for a long time, she was losing money. But now the stock is trading near fresh all-time highs. It has pulled back a little bit from those highs, but the pullback aligns with trends. I would expect the stock to continue trending higher. So right now looks like a pretty decent time to start nibbling on this stock or adding to a position.
Well, Thomas, let's move on to your second cybersecurity stock pick of the year for 2025.
Yeah, this is CrowdStrike. It's the second largest by market cap and by revenue. And it has an advantage over Palo Alto because of its Falcon platform. It it was producing a unified platform right from the beginning. It offers numerous cybersecurity tools that aren't specifically zero trust by themselves, but align with the zero trust framework. So CrowdStrike is a unified, easy to use platform that is part of a comprehensive zero trust solution for enterprises. You can see that in its results. It's growing large clients by double-digit pace. It's deepening penetration. It's kind of a plug-and-play platform where you can go in and just start off with the basic modules and add things as you need them in a very simple manner. So this one is also expected to see its growth slow this year, but be sustained at a pretty solid double-digit pace.
Well, let's talk about the stock price. What are analysts expecting for this stock in the next year?
Consensus is expecting about a 5% upside, but that consensus target is trending higher. Revisions are leading to the high end range. So we're looking at about a 20 to 25% upside right now. but based on the trends, it's growing, it's been outperforming. I would expect the analyst revision trend to also continue. So that 25% upside could be a low target by the end of the year.
Do you expect to see much volatility in this stock or even this sector this year?
I would expect to see some volatility because it has been pretty volatile traditionally. We get some cyber threats appearing and the stocks will see a surge and then they'll pull back from those surges. So it makes some pretty good stocks to target for dollar cost averaging and for building positions over time. Just wait for those pullbacks and nibble a little bit here, a little bit there.
All right, let's get to your final stock pick of the year.
The third pick is Fortinet. It is number 15 as far as being the most upgraded stock of the year for 2024. It's number 3 for cybersecurity. It also has an advantage. It offers a unified platform. One of the reasons why Palo Alto is trying to unify its own platform because these competitors are doing so well with the unified system. It is a zero trust network. It spends a lot of its time verifying IDs to protect and secure endpoints as well as networks and data. Analysts are looking for about 20% upside. And again, I think that the way trends are going, the forecasts for earnings are probably low. And so the trends and analyst revisions will probably continue to drive the stock higher over time.
So let's look at this stock price compared to the others that you've mentioned. Is this a little bit of a cheaper buy-in?
So it's actually not a cheaper buy-in, but you get a lot for your value. The thing with Fortinet, another one of its advantages is its margin. It has industry-leading margins. It produces the highest quality cash flow of any cybersecurity stock on the market. Its operating margins are more than double Palo Alto's and CrowdStrike's, bordering on 3 times as big, 3 times as wide. So that's pretty significant, and that is why the stock trades at such a high valuation.
So let's talk about this company and really all of the cybersecurity sector. How much room for growth as an industry is there? Are there still other companies, other networks out there that are still needing to buy into cybersecurity yet?
Cybersecurity has quite a long growth trajectory ahead of it. Cyber threats are only expected to continue growing. The outlook for job growth is 33% over the next 10 years. That's within the cybersecurity network. And we're looking at a 2x to 3x growth rate by the middle of the next decade.
Well, it sounds like a great industry to get into. Thomas, thank you so much for sharing your picks with us to start off the new year. And thank you for joining us for this video and all of the others as we start off 2025 and follow where the market heads this year. Thanks again for joining us. And as always, happy investing.